Alright, what's going on everyone? My name is Tom from Dreadlabs. It is Thursday, the 8th of May 2025. We're back with another weekly live stream, and in this week we're going to continue something that we've started I think a month ago during a live stream actually. We are going to work on a fairly cool design project. So about a month ago I started doing a a visual branding for Tomorrowland Festival, which is a huge festival. It's probably one of the biggest dance festivals in the world right now. It's fairly close to my hometown where I live. It's still in Belgium, it's in another country. I'm from the Netherlands, but I've been there 10 years ago, and it's one of the largest, creative projects I've ever seen and witnessed in my entire life, since they do like an awesome job at stage design and stuff like that. And we came up with this really cool project during a live stream. Basically what I wanted to do is start basically a self-contained version of Tomorrowland, I guess. So I'm not hired by Tomorrowland or anything like that, but I thought it would be fun to do a creative direction for an edition of Tomorrowland and see what I would create if I was in charge of the creative direction for that year. So that's what we actually did, and let me just switch over to the live stream screen right now. So I've been working in the background on some other stuff, so this is kind of like the visual aspects of it, but I kind of want to run you through it's really the idea that I got from working on this project. So we got a couple of ideas earlier, like a month ago during the stream, which what we came up with was basically a giant so humanity was traveling towards another solar system where they discovered the planet Arion, which is an actual planet, and this planet is basically named after the Greek mythology, which was a figure where Arion was a figure in the Greek mythology, and he was lost at sea, but because he started playing music he was guided back home by dolphins. So we kind of used that idea and used it as a base on how humanity found refuge on the planet Arion, where there were already aliens living, and we came up with a whole bunch of cool stuff. So let's just go over that real quick. So I've made a folder. So I have made a mood board, and I've also used some AI prompts for the mood board as well. So a couple of ideas that we had. I'm not sure where I actually left these things. Let me just grab those real quick. I think I've written them down somewhere. Here we go. So let's see. I actually made this thing right here. Let me just go over to another view. If this camera is on. Let me just check real quick. Should be on. There we go. I think it was just on standby or something. There we go. Awesome. So let's go to podcast and then, or maybe just do full screen. There we go. I'm just gonna move my mic away and move this a little bit up. And zoom the camera in so you can read this with me or check it out. It's a little bit overlit, so I hope it's possible to read. Anyways, I came up with the name of the edition would be, let me just move my paper, The Sanctuary of Arion. And let me just lower the music real quick for myself because I cannot hear myself think. So yeah, This is inspired by the Greek mythology of the exoplanet Arion, who was rescued and brought to the mainland by dolphins, which he carried by playing music, which he called by playing music on his guitar. So we also got like an actual mythology reference with music in there, which I thought was fitting. So another thing is the Sanctuary of Arion is a story about the human settlement on the planet 18 Delphini B. And the funny part is actually Delphini is also like the Greek word for dolphin, I think. So yeah, that's where the name of this whole thing comes from. So it's a fictional story about Arion, which is a human settlement on the planet Arion. And ancient creatures who originally posed a threat became friendly towards humans and started living in harmony after the humans shared their music with them. And then I have a couple of cool ideas for stages. So one of these is the main stage, which we call the Sun of Arion. What I was kind of thinking about is, I think I have a sketch here, yeah. So a giant floating castle which is held like upwards by a like dormant sleeping alien. Which should be the first settlement of Arion. So they basically were going to build a whole city as a stage. Then we have some other stage design ideas. So we got Atlas the Banished, or Atlas the Banished Titan, which is inspired by Atlas, Greek mythology, the bearer of heaven. So I'm not really sure how I want to implement this. Then we have the Dolphins of Planaxis. So this combines the idea of the conch stage, which is like the conch stage. I'm not really sure why I written down conch stage. It has probably something to do with 2018's theme was. I think the conch stage was a stage on Tomorrowland 2018. And then I wanted to combine this with the dolphins who rescued Arion, so maybe we'll do some alien dolphins in the stage design. So another thing is the archway to the constellation of Delphini, which is a shrine or temple inspired by the waterways implemented in the stage. I had the idea to do some projection mapping on that. We have a Helios stage, which would be like the sun of Arian solar system, inspired by the sphere of Las Vegas. So I wanted to do like a whole spherical stage with, you know, like animations on them. And then another one was Tartarus, the Living City, which would be an open tent with hard music only, like hard techno, hard style, stuff like that. And it's a moving robotic city, and I actually have some ideas for that. Let me just show you real quick. So these are some of the ideas. This is the waterway stage that I envisioned. These are some mood board ideas for the floating city. Some other cool, interesting stuff that I've seen. I like this idea of this liminal art. I guess it works really well. And then here is some AI prompts that I did just for the idea. So it's nowhere near something that I actually want to create myself, but just to give you an idea on all of these. And then this is the moving city idea that I've had, like a giant city that's been on like rotary blades or something like that. And then like something like this in Greek mythology that can also be incorporated into a stage, of course. So yeah, there we go. Now let's cut back to me. So what we're gonna be doing this stream, because we have a lot of ideas, and obviously we're gonna do these stage designs in a later stage, I guess. But the first thing that we're gonna do is just design this stuff. So I wanted to do the visual branding first, and then based on the visual branding, I want to expand and do the stage design and stuff like that. So this is kind of like the start of the art direction, if that makes sense. So got Gustavo and Gaurav. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoy your stay here. Let me just switch back to my face real quick again. There we go. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is basically, this is some of my design process in doing the visual branding for this. I am really inspired by these really like natural, but still like alien looking patterns and stuff like that. So I drew this, and I also drew the tribals in the background here, which I would think would be like kind of fitting to have like really earthy tones and natural looking colors. but then also have like this weird little futuristic digital and almost alien-like addition to that, if that makes sense. What's up, Boring Six? How are you doing? Are you Brazilian? That's nice. I hope my videos are still understandable to you if you're not speaking English properly. But yeah, thank you for liking the videos, man. I'm glad you enjoyed them. So yeah, this is the visual. So this is the visual stuff that I'm been cooking on. So I'm just gonna put that on the screen right now. Basically. There we go. So now if you tune in on the stream, you can kind of like see what I'm actually doing. Sup, Xiao, how you doing? ¿Cómo estás, Hoye? I don't know how you pronounce that, but yeah, I hope you're doing well, man. I'm doing fine. Clipping the mic a little bit, I can hear. But it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, so doing some self-contained stuff today. So this is the first iteration, and I liked it. It was a little bit chaotic, you know. We want the base of this art to be like showcasing artist pictures, also have like a full lineup, stuff like that, which can be fun to think about, you know. Like I would think it would be really fun to have you guys on the live stream like come up with cool artists for the lineup, stuff like that. Awesome. Can't wait to do that, man. Can't wait to hear that. So yeah, we got the Tomorrowland logo in there already, and it's like combined with so it's cut out, I think. Yeah. So this is the I made some tribals. I sketched these out on paper actually. This will all be visible in the full video once this video actually goes live, because this is all going to be part of like a giant video, I guess. But yeah, we got some tribals with some embossing effects on there, just to have like some kind of like scribbles or, you know, like human drawn stuff, combined with the rock patterns, which is like, I guess, kind of inspired by these. How'd you say, like these? You know, if in movies and stuff like that, people see these like weird little patterns on rocks, like as like evidence that aliens visited and stuff. That's kind of what I'm. That's kind of what I was thinking about when I was drawing these, and also like these little, you know, how aliens always supposed to make like these figures in cornfields or stuff like that. So that's kind of like the direction that I wanted to go into. The thing is, however, this is all going to be like background stuff. I've also made a 3D title for it, which is over here. So I wanted to have this as on the top of everything. It's still like a little bit too bright, I think, and a little bit illegible. Especially the Tomorrowland typography, so I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do something like this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open Cinema 4D and just render this background rock, I guess. And I think we're also going to be needing to think about like all of the assets that are going to come out of this. So I'm just going to go and make a black background here and just write some stuff down. So all of the assets that we need for a really big project like this will be like, of course, like the printable posters, social media line posts, and underneath that, can we actually go like one in? Oh yeah. So line up posts, general/announcement posts. I cannot type today, sorry about that. And of course individual artist posts, stuff like that. And then what else? I think like Yeah, probably like brand partnership announcements. Merchandise. Will probably also be used as like signing on the festival itself, as well as printable assets such as bar menus. You know, like how you're at a festival and in the background of the bar there's like the price lists and stuff like that. Price lists. What else do we need? Do you guys have any maybe some gifts? Ooh, GIFs or GIFs. For like social media. What's up, Mike? By the way, how you doing? Let me just see if I can find some other stuff. Like I've never really worked for a festival this big before, because so that's probably because why and how. Yeah, I'm never gonna find like all of the yeah, all of the assets that are coming with such a large festival, of course, but yeah. For now, I think like if most of the assets that we see on the screen right now, lanyards are printed products like cups. That's also a very good one. Cups, lanyard / VIP passes. What's up, Elena? How are you doing? Sorry, didn't see your comment earlier. Hope you're doing well. Are you still in Greece or? I think this is like a lot already, and of course, like we're gonna do stage designs, show visuals. But I think the last two are going to be like around the end of the. I want to have this part first. So yeah, in Cinema 4D, I'm actually going to where is my Cinema 4D? Oh, this is OBS. I actually want to do this rock thing like again, but then without all of the text on it. Back at Leipzig. Nice. Just in time for the good weather. At least it's good weather here, so. Box with stuff. You mean like shipping boxes or? Ooh, I forgot a really big one. It's kind of like has something to do with VIP passes, but packaging for that's like a huge thing for Tomorrowland. The next stream, I'm actually gonna find that thing because I want to show you guys. Like a promo kit for festival stuff. Yeah, I think this is kind of similar to what I mean. Like we discussed this in the first stream, I think. Like the packaging for the entrance bracelet. It's kind of similar to what you mean, I think, but if it's different, let me know, because we need all of the assets right now, you know. So we got, let's see. We got the poster design here, and then we need the title, and then we're just gonna ditch a couple of things. So the first thing I want to ditch is the bend on this 3D thing, and I'm going to actually ditch the whole title itself, and also this thing and this thing, and now we have this flat little thing. Yeah, and just like export that. I hope it's not like I think I'm just just because I'm like iterating and need to do stuff quickly, I'm just rendering everything in like kind of a shitty quality, you know. If I need to actually print this out on an A0 poster, I would render everything in a higher quality. But like a promo box you would send to artists. Ooh, that's an actual good one, yeah. Promo box. I remember like there was this other festival here in the Netherlands, which is I'm not sure if it still is, but it used to be like a really big hardstyle festival. I guess it still kind of is, and they used to send like these custom beer casings with the artist name on it. So even if you were playing opening set in a really small stage, they would still send you like their own branded beer case with your name, your artist name on it, which is actually really cool. So it's still rendering. Oh, this is gonna take 10 minutes. Okay, so in the meantime, I kind of want to see how we want to fill in the part of like. I'm also like, maybe we'll just add this to the rock patterns. Oh yeah, because there's already like a vignette on the in the background. So I'm kind of like wanting to see like if we should do like a picture frame or like how we're gonna do this text. So one way that I was kind of thinking about it was we'll grab like some of these like I'm actually gonna turn this into an asset pack, but the tribal scribbles, I actually have the separate shapes here. So these scribbles are used in the background. And I was thinking of doing something like creating a frame with them. Like a kaleidoscopic frame almost. Let's just grab these two as an example. And then... Oh, by the way, Mike, how's the kit coming along? Let me see. Yeah, something like this, I guess. And turn that into like a frame in some way. Like have this as the corners of the frame, and then everything inside would be... there. Maybe I'm gonna need to use the thicker ones, like the ones in here. But for now, let me just rasterize these together. And then I'm just gonna duplicate this thing. And then mirror it. And do this, merge it down, and then do it again. You know, something like this where let's merge this down again. So and everything inside of this can be like a text frame or something. You know, like we'll change the background texture to make it more subtle. In that case, I actually want to move up the logo so that it's like visible. So maybe we'll just put that here, because like there's always going to be something more important in the background here, right? And this looks... oh wait, no, it's with the background. And I'm actually going to do this like in a really low quality, just so it's quicker on stream. I'm not going to wait whole stream for this stuff. Let's just remove the title for now, and I think I'm just going to grab this. Oh wait, it's outside of the... it's outside of the screen. So okay, let me just move the logo up again, like right here. Delete the title. And move this so that it's intersecting just a little bit. I think this is fine. And now I'm just gonna scale this up. Usually I work with, like, almost exclusively work with smart objects, but for a project like this where you have to iterate a lot of stuff over and over again, might be easier to just, you know, rasterize everything. And maybe we'll scale this up next time. We'll scale this. I think now I've done like the weird scale up thing. Yeah, with nearest neighbor. I'm just gonna do like cubic automatic so that it's a little bit smoother when we actually scale it up. Was just scaling something in pixel art, which is why I had that setting on. Anyways, so what we can do now is select all of this and then go to a layer below and create a solid color. Actually, I like that little pastel color that we had just earlier. It's a little bit too, it was a little bit too saturated, but it was like a little bit of salmon or something. It was the color overlay. Let's just copy it and then paste it in here and inverse the mask, and then in the mask we'll just make sure that all of this stuff is just black as well. So with a live stream like this, I kind of find it difficult because like at one point I'm like needing to concentrate and I need to be like showing what I'm making. But I'm also kind of aware that a lot of people watch these kinds of live streams in the background of what they're actually doing, which is, you know, and in that case, they kind of want to hear something. So if I'm quiet all the time, they only hear my awkward background music, I guess. So I'm kind of curious, like, do you like me yapping about nothing while I'm working and being kind of like distracted the whole way? Or do you prefer if I be quiet and you could just check in every now and then with what I'm making? Hey, it's up, Jackson. How you doing, man? It's been a while. Alright, so now this is a little bit too saturated, like I said, so we'll kind of go for like a gray value here. Maybe something like this, and then we'll texture this later. So we'll do like text, screen, background. And the cool part about this is like after we do finish all of this and we're like satisfied with our design, we can simply just... Ooh, this kind of looks dope. But not for this, but still, looks kind of dope. But yeah, then we can just use it as assets and just drop, like, make everything like editable and stuff. We create templates from this and stuff. I kind of like how there's still like muted colors now, but it's still how you say, it's still like contrasting towards like the green in the background. Talk through the process helps. Okay, good to know. It's a weird global light angle to have as a default. I think I just reset it to default, right? Or maybe I just clicked make default by accident at once or something like that. I kind of want to have this like kind of sharp like this. And then yeah, we got the Pokemon texture in here for the people familiar. I might need to find some cool like seamless rock textures or something like that. Because I don't think like Photoshop has some like the water textures and stuff. I mean, this kind of works. Like how noisy it is. I'm just gonna leave this actually. It's pretty cool. And then we'll do like an inner shadow. Oh, that's a glow. If there's any Photoshop experts out there, I'm kind of curious as to why you cannot stack a couple of these. Like, for example, you cannot really stack pattern overlays, which is actually really unfortunate, because if it would be the case, then you could, you know, use multiple blend modes for patterns and stuff like that. But and the outer glow is also not stackable, while the drop shadow is, which is kind of like weird. But I've always wondered why that is. Okay, let's soften this up like quite a little bit. So this works, I think. And then we need to like find a shape as to where, you know, how we're how to say, we need to find like a shape to write the text in and stuff like that. Throw an idea in the Discord, or let me check. For framing, I'm thinking why not use the rock texture from the header and add. Ooh, that's actually a sick idea. Yeah, like this is the complete frame, right? My Octane crashed while rendering. I hope it's still there. I might have something like this laying around that we can use as a placeholder in some of my asset packs. Just to save some time, because I only have 30 minutes left. I want to do a longer live stream in the future. The thing is, like, for now, like, maybe I'm gonna do one on Sunday, actually. But yeah, for now, it's I have to leave in like 30 minutes. Yeah, this is actually a really great idea. Actually, because this is like, I feel like this is a little bit too thin compared to the rest. So let me just see if I have some. here, something that would be similar or something that we. Well, yeah, definitely would help push this. Yeah, otherwise it kind of looks like sticks or something like that, right? Like wood. I think this one would kind of work with, you know, by building something like this. I think I would end up doing a custom one, which I'm actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go and do this in Illustrator real quick, and then I'm just gonna use some Photoshop elements, and then the rendering I'm gonna leave that be because that will just slow the live stream down. Has anyone ever also had this glitch in Illustrator where I have had this years ago and now it just came back? When I open Illustrator, it doesn't open any like of the windows. It just opens like it looks like this. And then if you go like to a new file, it also keeps this empty, which is really weird. I'm not sure why that happens, but I've had that happen to me like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and then it just vanished, and now it's back for some reason. So I think these two would work well. Let me just make like a... So this is kind of annoying. So I have to go like to the set presets because they're there too. Oh yeah, you've had it too? Super weird. Okay. Something like this. Maybe we'll rotate it inwards, so it's a little bit more straight. And then I'll just make a little cross in Illustrator. Like that. And then group it and put it to the middle. And now we can just mirror everything that we want to mirror. This kind of works, I feel like, with the whole, like, it's kind of shrinking down, but it kind of keeps the same width. I think that would work. And let's see what else we got. Something symmetrical. I think this one would probably work well. Let's just make sure that it's maybe something like this, where we just like grab, I guess, a part of it like that, and then we'll just like use the shape builder tool to cut off stuff that we don't need. So for example, this part here and here, and we'll just close off these like little gaps. And I think this works well. And if we now just like, ooh, maybe, no, this is fine actually for now. I'll just do the detailing like after the project, I guess. And then we'll just drop like this, and then we could just copy this into Photoshop. Like that. Yeah, this works a lot better. Ooh, it actually also fits really well with the logo in there, which is nice. So I'm just gonna use this as the mask here. And then actually going to, well, I'm just going to hide this for now, and then I think I'm going to do the outline later, and I'm going to texture this the way I texture the other thing, just to speed up. I think it's pretty cool. Ooh, you can actually do the depth, so maybe if we just lower the depth a little bit. I kind of like this texture part. So what we can also do now is just outline this and just also paste that into Photoshop. And I will just do like a similar texture to this. Actually going to copy this layer style. And we'll paste that one in. This sort of Photoshop After Effects, save in the background, keep my just for manual live and crash. Ooh, maybe that's the case. Oh wait, so or this is about Kev. How you doing, man? Fest logo tied at the bottom. What's the Fest logo? I'm actually going to do this just in Photoshop with like a stroke. And I'm just gonna go group this and remove the fill, and then just copy this layer style, delete that part. And now we can just play around with the stroke width. I feel like now we can actually play with the color of our outline. So we'll just call this outline. I feel like the outline can be a little bit more of this color. So something like this, I guess. And then we still need the texture of this. Where did it go? Oh wait, I just Control Z there, love, right? I think +5 or something. This works pretty well, I feel like. Man, yeah, dude, I cannot tell you how much I miss streaming. Like I'm actually doing this on a weekly basis now for maybe 3 or 4 months, I think. I think in February is when I started doing it weekly again, and it just helped me a lot. I've seen some inspiring stuff from the community. I feel motivated more to do like self-contained projects, and I made like the bar a little bit lower for myself, because at first I was like, I wanted to have this really high production quality stuff, and now I'm just like chilling. You know, if something goes wrong, or if some quality of the stream isn't really doing great, then I'm just like, oh, it's fine, you know. And that helped like take a lot of the pressure off me, and that made streaming a lot more fun for me. That being said, it's like yeah, just like reflecting on it like made me miss it when I was doing it like a lot in I think it was in 2021. I still cannot wrap my head around how 2021 was 4 years ago. That I've been doing this shit with Dreadlabs for 5 years at this point. That's just weird to me. Feels like I've been doing it for 2 years or something. Max. Maybe we'll stack the inner shadow and we'll do like one more. It's a little bit larger, and then like a low opacity. Thanks, dude. Thanks. And I think I also need some stuff to do some stuff on the outline. I think it also needs some shadow and stuff. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Only thing that I've been struggling quite a little bit with now. Oh, this softens the texture as well. Ah, man. I don't want that. It's been getting harder and harder to keep up with Dreadlabs in terms of like I think I've lost a lot of my audience when I just took my break. So like the income from YouTube and the web shop and stuff, it's just like lowered a lot. But at the same time, I don't want to give up on it, because like it's just doing so much for me in terms of creativity. And even though I cannot really pay my rent anymore with Dreadlabs alone, I also need to freelance, which is of course completely fine. But yeah, just being able to do both of this stuff just means so much to me that I just want to keep doing this stuff, you know, even though that it's getting harder because of the recession. Like I lost quite some work opportunities because of it. It says you now mask image. Mike, I have no clue what you're saying. Passion lasts forever. I agree, but I've no idea what you mean with like the test. And put Dreadlabs and the festival type mark. Sorry, man. It might just be because I'm like my brain's kind of fried at the moment. Let's just call this like text frame. And I'm also going to do some shading as a gradient overlay on this layer too. If we can see that actually, I think, yeah. I also would love to have like an order of like text layers. As you can see now, the color overlay is putting this over the over the gradient overlay, which is kind of annoying because that means that I cannot use the gradient overlay right now, so I have to group this stuff. So now okay, I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm just gonna remove the color overlay and the drop shadow on this one, and I'm just gonna remove this. Whoa, this is messing with my head a little bit. And now if we do the gradient overlay on this one, because the color overlay is in the bottom one, I think we're good. If we just put this to multiply, linear. No radial actually, sorry. Yep, and then reset this. No. I meant to reset the alignment. Where is it? Oh, here. Why? What's up with the alignment of this thing? It's just because of the artboards, I think. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. Just to have a little bit of like color variation in there. Why this pinkish color, by the way? I felt like I kind of liked the contrast from the background, because I felt like if I'm gonna do this in like the same color palette as the other stuff, well, this kind of works as well, I guess. But I felt like it needed to stand out a little bit more from like the background. But maybe what I can do is if we go to the color overlay in this, and if we make this a little bit more like peach, like pinkish. I'm not sure what the hex color was. I think it would be something in here. Kind of want to have it stand out from the background a little bit more. If this was a poster or something, I kind of want to have this to like have the audience look at this and go like, "Wow, that's like, oh, did you see the tribals in the background here? And did you see the Tomorrowland logo at the top? And did you see like the alien inscription wall thing?" You know, that's kind of like the vibe I'm going for here. Anyways, I'm kind of happy with this text frame. And I think this color actually works better than the first one. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. Maybe we need to use that kind of stuff for the titles rather than the other stuff. And one thing that I wanted to do was go into the rock patterns. And actually want to add a lot of sharpness into there, because I really like this overly computerly processed texturing. And I kind of want to use this on the 3D render as well. So I'm going to go with Smart Sharpen. Yeah, you know, kind of like this. A little smaller maybe. Maybe we'll just keep the amount of pixels to 3.5 or something, and I just lower the percentage. Kind of like that. Alright, I'm digging this. I'm digging this. And test the graphic out if it was for a specific artist post. So like put. Oh yeah. I see how it looks with festival type. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do next is do some text template thingies. Let me just save this up because I feel like we've made some progress here. So I'm kind of happy with that. I have no clue what the fonts were when I was starting this. I think... Let me just check the render real quick, see if I can make it out from the render. Otherwise I have to reopen Cinema 4D all over again. Or maybe I have it in the base here. So this is Aviano Flare. I know that from looking at it. But this title... So I kind of wanted to see if the font... There's a font called Kepler. And that's, I think, a telescope as well. And I'm not sure if the Kepler telescope discovered the Arion planet, but I think it will be like a fun little extra layer, if that makes sense. I think this is... I think this works like a serif font. But now the question is like, do we do it separate, like Rocky title, or do we like inscribe it? So let me just see what they usually do like on Tomorrowland. If we can find some, like, I think they mostly do like, okay, this is not really what I'm looking for. Here is completely clean. Oh, they're doing something with Tomorrowland and the sphere already. That's good to know, because that then we can actually do like stage design ideas for that and visuals. Let me just check real quick if they still have their brandings from last year. Okay, so in this case they're doing it like, okay, not really this. I mean, you kind of have to do it when there's like a lot of random logos and stuff like that. This is kind of funny. This is a Dutch word and it's on. So let me just see if there's more stuff in here. I kind of want to do stuff like this, you know, like stylized and fitting in the frame. So let's go for something like that. So we're gonna do some gradient overlays, color overlay. Let's do that like weird pinkish color that we had earlier. And then okay, so actually going to just color the text that way. And then just have a gradient overlay multiply on it. And have a really subtle, this is a way too big of a bevel and emboss, so we'll make this smaller, less sharp. Are we going to do the texture? It's a bit difficult because there's a like the unfortunate part about this the lines are just way too thin. So I think this is the thickest version as well. So let me just check Adobe Fonts real quick. Maybe there's an alternative version of Kepler that we can use. It has 168 different... What? Okay, we can definitely find something that works, right? Yeah, okay, this works. Let's just add everything. Immediately, like my complete Adobe Fonts subscription is now full, I think. But yeah, that works. That works. Jeez, 168 font variations. That has to be like the largest variety of one font that I've ever seen in my life, I think. Like, except for, of course, like variable fonts, which have maybe thousands, but... Oh yeah, Futura, okay. I'm not sure how much Futura has, but... What's up, Olive, Crook? How you guys doing? Oh my god, I can't wait to type in Kepler and then have like not the list have narrowed down any at all, but yeah, it's probably gonna take a while to load. So in the meantime, let's just go with some extra processing so we can make this look a little bit better. I was thinking of like doing a stylized stroke, but I'm not sure what is contour. Oh wait, what? Oh, so it's basically like the range of the bevel and emboss, or? I've never seen that before, actually. I've never really used that. Let me just remove the texturing real quick, and then wait. So if we just make this a little bit larger like that, and what happens if we now lower it? Kind of seems like it's the same thing as the depth, I guess. Like, it does work, however. Like, it kind of looks great. Let's just keep it here. Man, then we'll do some like subtle drop shadows and stuff like that as well. A high spread, low opacity and low size like that, and then also like a sharp blue one again. A quite large one which also has like a low opacity, maybe a little bit too big for this. Something like this. Yeah, this kind of, you know, like this kind of pops off from the background. The only thing we need is like, whoa. Okay, yeah, this. So we got Kepler light, semi-condensed italic display, italic subhead. Wow, this is crazy, dude. Okay, we got semi-condensed, I think. But what's the difference between this one? Where are you? Yeah, here, and then subhead, and then this is for subheadings, and then display, and what if we do like we need these like the thinnest parts. We need to have them like be thicker. So I just want to. Yeah, it keeps being thick, sadly. So all of these 168 variations are for nothing, I think. I don't hope so. Okay, I kind of like it, however. Just gonna scale it in here. And then, where's the logo at? I'm just gonna drop in the logo again, because it's like a little bit too invisible here in the background. So maybe what happens if we just like do something like this? Oh yeah, of course. Wait, we need to group this and then give this a color overlay of this pink, and then just copy the effects here. There we go. We definitely need to texture this in the future, like with some rock textures or something like that, or add a glow to the embossed one at the top on this one. Let's see if we like a really subtle like light green or something. I kind of like this as well. Yeah, it's still kind of blending with the background, but move this up a little bit more. Alright, so we got Tomorrowland, and then we need the Sanctuary of Arion, which we are going to... Where is the text? This is the text frame. Tomorrowland. That's what I like about self-contained projects too. Like usually when I do stuff in a live stream, I'm like, I need to finish this in by the end of the live stream. So I'm just kind of like rushing, and now I'm just taking my time to pick fonts and stuff like that. And then, so yeah, and that's kind of what I like about this. You know, this can be like a multi-day project, and that's the whole reason why I like these like self-contained projects too, rather than just finishing them for the content or whatever, just taking my time. The Sanctuary of Arion. Can see the festival. Yeah, definitely. That's actually a cool asset to do, like floor plan map. Could do it like have like a treasure map almost, you know? Where let's lower the size of this thing. And I think I want to use this as a glow rather than having a... Well, the drop shadows can still be there, but then with the outer glow, we'll do like that subtle green color that we also used in at the top. And now I kind of want to stack this, but what we can do is... It's kind of like illegible, maybe. It's also like I'm really zoomed in on a really small asset, so it kind of looks pixelized a little bit, but... yeah, this is... You can't really read this. We need to change the color of this, I think, to something lighter. So let's do the green for the... Ooh, this is even less. Maybe we'll go a little bit more towards like this blue. Yeah, something like this should work, and then we just have to like make the shadows of the bevel and emboss lower. Also, this is... Why is this highlight not white? I think it's from like a preset that I used earlier on like something else. And then we need to make this opacity larger, lower the distance a little bit more. Oh, this is way too big. I think this is better, right? Yeah, and then we just... The drop shadow is a little bit too much, I think. Well, maybe the opacity is okay, but the size is a little bit too big. And then I want to have the gradient overlay just a little bit darker. Like that. So JJ, how you doing? Or darker with a lighter glow is also possible. Let's just see if I make this a little bit darker. Like the darker it gets, the more it blends in with the background. So we might even need to change the background or like neutralize it a little bit more. What we can also do, of course, is like have something in the background which resembles like the rock that we had earlier. Yeah, make it more. What we can also do is just change the font a little bit. I think there's also another one which this kind of works well with, like, because it looks like it's like chiseled rock or something. Now it looks a little. Now we definitely need to get rid of that gradient, but. I kind of like this for now. I'll leave this for now, and then I'm gonna see if there's other options in the maybe on Sunday during a live stream. Let's see if that's possible, and then we need to like kind of find like a like an inwards body. So maybe what I can do is grab this and then just press hello. Ooh, okay. Offset this path to something like this and then round it. And now if we just do this and paste it in as a path. Where's the, no, not that's this vector mask thing. Let's do that as a shape layer, move it downwards, and we'll call this text box. I think we need to like make the texture in the background a little bit more subtle, but yeah, now we can just drop in. Maybe we'll just use the Los Lana for like body text, so it's easy, a little bit better in terms of legibility. And then we could just press enter again. Yeah, something like this, right? This kind of works. And we can always just have like blend modes on this, right? So maybe we'll have something like the darker parts of the texture are just shining through while still being legible. Something like this. Okay, for now that's fine actually, I think. It's gonna be Soul Reaver vibes. Maybe motion blur behind it, just white text. Ooh, yeah, you mean like a little glow, I guess? Man, it's kind of unfortunate that I have to quit the stream now because I'm just feeling like I'm just getting fired up. So, yeah, if you guys want to see me continue this, we're gonna do that on Sunday, I think. For now, we're gonna leave it here. I do, however, have like some really good ideas now and like a general idea of the direction that I want to go into. I think I'm gonna put this down just a little bit. So we have room for like a sub header, and then it also starts at a more like light part of the thing. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like how kind of shitty it looks, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, just to give you guys some idea on what I've been seeing. Like this is the mood board for like the visuals and the stage and stuff like that. But I think I've also made some. This was the first test. I think I've already shown this in a past live stream, but just to give you guys some ideas on what the visual branding is, like what I'm kind of like thinking is really cool is I've been seeing like stuff like this a little bit more, like especially these two, like these really organic looking, yeah, stuff like that. I really dig that. I think that's kind of like what I'm going for, like this almost organic, computerized looking feel. Thanks, Olive. Looks great over here. Seeing the motion graphics, please. Yeah, man, I'm hyped for this. So I'm gonna continue this on Sunday, I think. I'm not sure what time, but I'll just let you guys know in the Discord. If you want to join that, of course. Maybe you have other weekend plans. And in that case, you can always just watch the stream back, of course. Yeah, I'm actually happy with the progress that we made today. This is one of those projects that has been a little bit on the backlog, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm happy to have made some progress on this, even if it takes a long time. I originally planned to release this video on like the 30th of June, which is like a little over a month from now, but I'm definitely sure that we're not going to make it that far because even if I want to do stage designs and stuff like that, it's going to take a longer amount of time. So maybe this project will even take like a year or something like that. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for joining me on this creative journey. I hope this inspired you to do some self-contained projects yourself. Maybe you got some inspiration to design something after this. Before you get off, the frame as a keychain. Ooh, that's a great idea. Ooh, that will work in the goodie bag. Let me just add that real quick before I forget. Where is the goodies? Oh, no, what am I doing? Keychain frame. And if I forget what that is, you'll just remind me, Mike. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's always been a pleasure to sit in here and work and have you guys, talk to me, help me with the creative direction for this, and yeah, it's just a general good time. So hope to see you again on Sunday. Otherwise, next Thursday. Let me check if I have. I think I'm just gonna continue on this project. To be honest, I feel like I want to keep it going a little bit more. While we're at the momentum and while we have momentum and stuff like that. Anyways, if you want to support Dreadlabs, of course, you can do so by the usual things like going to the website, grab yourself a couple of asset packs. You can also support me by going to Patreon and support me there. I've actually added a new tier on my Patreon. It's a higher up tier, but this will get you access to a free one-on-one monthly private lesson. So if you subscribe to that Patreon tier, you get one-on-one lessons with me for an hour every single month, in addition to all of the other cool perks that come with the Patreon channel, which are a 25% discount on the Dreadlabs web store, as well as access to all of the project files from all of my live streams and videos. And when this project gets finished, that will also be added to that, of course. But for now, if you don't have the budget to support Dreadlabs, so what you can do is leave a like on this video, comment on all of my other videos, subscribe to the channel if you have not done that already, because doing that is also like free, and that actually helps me out a lot. So yeah, with all of that being said, thank you guys for tuning in so much. Hopefully see you guys in the next stream. And for now, bye bye.